Alright, what's good everybody? Today I want to talk about a little issue. So this is a thing that I find to be pretty important if you play fast characters and actually just in this game in general, just because of how moves work. The problem with playing too fast, especially like if you play Chip or Milia, this video really matters to you, but this affects pretty much everyone, including characters you would not expect. So like Zato and your Ram. So this is from a stream I played yesterday with a Ramlethal in the tower. And while we probably all agree that Ramlethal is indeed Ram lethal, she is so violent, they be swinging on those big buttons and stuff. This person's pace was quite fast, like quite fast, to the point where I made a comment later in the matches I played with him where I was like,
He has pressed more buttons in this several seconds than I have the entire games that we played.
and that's really how I felt. So this is like a small thing you can pay attention to. So one, what would determine this? So the first thing would be just how fast you feel like they are moving. The main way you can see this, and this is what I noticed when I was playing this dude, is that when they are, let's say, doing attacks in neutral, they are immediately picking other stuff. You might notice here, when he's under me, he whiffs 6p, dash whiffs another normal, tries to dash throw Milia, the second fastest character in the game, with 6p, with forward slash, dash 6h, is constant action. So to be honest, if you're a little bit newer to fighting games, I could definitely understand considering what type of game Guilty Gear is. The boomers will tell you this is a slow game, but if you've never played a fighting game before, this game is pretty fast, high octane, and you might feel like, especially if it's your first time climbing the tower or you're hanging around the 10th floor or Celestial, like the bottom-ish ranks of Celestial, this game is kind of fast and you have to move at that pace. But the important thing is that you kind of adjust to what your opponent is doing a little bit and you do what you think is appropriate for the match. At the very least, the best thing I could tell you is if you don't know yet, because this thing does come with quite a bit of experience, this is definitely one of the things you could be like, oh, like this is the sign of an experienced player, like he can go fast or he can go slow, like when he wants. Definitely one thing I can tell you is that it's always good to not go too fast. So what's the main reason? And again, this one is definitely specifically more for my Milia and Chip mains, but applies to everybody. If you're going fast, your brain can only keep up with so much of what's going on. So if you're going too fast, you're not going to be able to pay attention to what's going on as well, and you won't be able to move out of the way or pick the right thing for the right situation at the right time. We always joke about how Chip players are on crack all the time and stuff. It's mostly they're just moving too fast. It's hard to stop though. So if you get good at like stopping that, they get frustrated really quickly. So to somewhat show my point here, I'm gonna share just this last game. We played a couple of sets, but in this last game, as you mentioned before, I purposely am playing much slower than I would play this matchup normally. So look at within the first, let's say 15 seconds. Let's see what happens. Let's take a look at this in slow motion. Round 1, whiffs 2/ whiffs 5h. I mean, it connects that one. Whiffs // whiffs 5h. I'm not even there. Whiff 6p, not there. Jump h, nothing's happening. 2s, nope. 5h connects. Whiffs to overhead, whiffs 6p. He's doing something under me, generally whiffing 6p, whiffing 5h, whiffs jump/. Finally connects with that. Did it with no meter, pretty big risk. And then he's got me in the corner here. I have pressed no buttons. The first action I take, I correctly tag him with 2k and get the knockdown. He bursts immediately. Also, shout out to Milia, what that pose though. So we continue. So my back's to the wall here. So he's doing ram things. I'm gonna try to work my way out eventually. And there we go. So now I have the corner. You get a crumb of pressure. Knock her down, set up to jump heavy, bait the wire C. This is a lot of damage. So I didn't really do anything this round. He pressed a lot of buttons. He only connected with a couple of things. He got me down. I hit him with 2k, swept him, and then because I got my offense, now he has like 10% life. He's gonna die. I have about like 60% of my life bar. Big smiles on my face. And in round 2, so this is a round that I actually stretched out on purpose. Again, I'm here in the stream chat, I was saying how I wanted to play slow just to kind of show this. So anytime he connects with something, it's fine. And there actually is an art of being able to kind of feint people by whiffing moves. So one example is actually a little bit before. Let's go back. So you might see he went to 5k and then pressed 5H. So the 5k is the concept of total duration. The move itself is extremely fast. You can see it, but by the time you saw it, your opponent's probably already doing something else. So you can use that to feint people. So when you see melee players use like 2k or chip players use like 5k neutral, there's that thing. So you notice even despite my disadvantage, I'm just going to keep it slow. Keep it slow. Notice how I'm just really not pressing a lot of buttons. I'm very conscious of my whiffs. It's very important as a melee player to do so. And notice that the majority of my buttons are connecting, despite me moving much slower and playing a much faster character. Melee is an extremely fast character. That speed that you have is in itself a tool. Not just being fast is not the power. It's the potential to be fast. That's the power. And I think this is something that a lot of people overlook. So let's close out this last round. So again, I'm going to keep this theme of just kind of keeping it slow. He takes his turn here. This is an example of like, you could probably, by the way, do this if you're quick about it. So here, pretty early, he whiffs a button, and I hit him when he lands because he whiffs a button. I recognize this because I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching what he's doing. He bursts because of that. Okay, we get to 2k 2D. I casually walk up. Again, here, when I'm playing him, I'm like, yeah, stream, just check out how I don't have to move very quickly despite playing one of the fastest characters. And carefully, he whips the overhead, moves immediately. That one was fine though. Okay, I pull up. He respects. I have some meter. We use it. I remember rollback lied to me. These things happen sometimes. He's doing his very best. Using moves. That move is quite, again, tactically, somebody in the comments, you could say, hey, buddy, well, you're not punishing him, so you could do whatever he wants. But once I get my opportunity and these little hits add up, especially if I get a big hit into a knockdown, he's going to be in quite a little bit of trouble. All my little hits have been hitting him fine. I got a knockdown. It's party time. He's going to die. He may or may not get burst back. He is going to get his burst. I actually could have killed. Okay. This was a clutch throw. I actually remember thinking this was quite good. Reversal gold burst. This game is most definitely done. He tries to push up one more time. And because he overextends again, this time I punished the move. So the moral of the story here is, just because the game is fast, just because your character is fast, doesn't mean you necessarily always have to be moving at max speed. You need to be able to adjust a little bit depending on your opponent and what they are doing. The reason why I'm saying this about this opponent here is because he was excessively whiffing buttons, and not just like relatively safe things like the fast buttons that recover fast, but her really big moves like 6H, far slash, standing heavy, all these type of things. So someone who can control the pace of their fast character and act fast and slow on command, again, that's a sign of mastery, that's a sign of skill, and it's definitely something to be afraid of. As usual, if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.